Okay, so how has BUCS benefited you?
I think it will benefit me quite a lot. It's actually my first competition of the season, real big one, so it's going to let me know how well I'm doing, how well my training's going, and basically set me up for the rest of the year, and then hopefully next year I'll be a bit more into it.
So how has your training gone for this event? It would be your first one. How have you managed to kind of balance out your work with being a student as well as training? How have you kind of balanced it out?
It's quite good. I train where I work actually, where I study. So I study at Gateshead College, and they've got a sports facility there. So that's where I do all of my training. So it's quite easy to balance it all. Yeah, I'm not really having any problems.
Yeah. So how do you prepare for an event like this? How do you kind of like get yourself going and motivated for this sort of event?
It's not hard to motivate myself for this because it's such a big event. I know there's some really good athletes there. They're going to push me to the best time I can possibly get. Obviously, been training really hard over the winter and then tapering it down a bit closer to the competition.
So what are your goals for the championships? What do you hope to have a result from this?
As I say, because it's my first comp of the season, I'm hoping to get to the semi-final. I'd really like that. I know some of the competitors there, and they're very, very good. So getting to the final might just be a step too far this year, but maybe next year.
Yeah. So what's it been like working with rival competition? Has it been kind of quite friendly, or has it been quite competitive, or both like work with each other? Or
I actually don't have any competitors that
in yours?
I train with in my event, but
right.
I've got a lot that train in other events, and they've really helped me on. So I'm a 400 hurdler, but I've got a lot of teammates who are 400 runners, so they do similar training and they've really pushed me on.
Cool. So after the event, what would you hope to like from this when you finish your competition? What do you hope to gain from it?
Obviously, I hope to get a PB, get a really good time and build on for the season. And as I say, my first BUCS, I've still got 2 more years after this. Hopefully next year, the year after, I can get to the finals. I can really make an impact on the competition.
Lovely. That's great. Thank you. How will the BUCS event benefit you?
I think it's a high-class competition. Looking at some of the other jumpers in the competition, there's quite a few 2-metre jumpers. To make a final would be quite a task, but that's the aim.
So how have you kind of prepared yourself for this event and done a lot of training? You know, how have you managed to balance out workload with the student as well as doing the training?
Yeah, I've had quite a few assignments to get in the last couple of weeks, which has been a pain, plus an injury to my back over the last couple of months, so training has almost taken a back step, but I'm feeling quite fresh. I've had a couple of sessions and a competition last week, which I jumped fairly well, so confident going into it.
Yeah, so what do you hope to gain from the event? What do you hope to happen after the event? What do you want to gain from it when you finish?
I'm looking just for the experience. I've done some big competitions before, not for a while, so I'm hoping to gain a little bit more experience in that sort of arena and hopefully take that into my other event.
So you've just done a few more games there. What sort of games have you done and how does this sort of compare to the BUCS event?
As a junior, I travelled to a couple of nationals, which I went into fairly confident knowing I'd make a final, whereas this one I know there's a slightly higher standard. So I do have experience in what the warm-up area is going to be like, what the general gist of the day is going to go, but just having those bigger jumpers in there is good.
What does it feel like to represent Sunderland University and to represent the North East? Do you feel kind of any added pressure, or are you just going in there for yourself, or are you thinking about who you're representing as you compete?
I wouldn't say there's any added pressure that I haven't put on from myself anyway. It'd be nice going into the competition with someone else from Sunderland as well, so we can try and help each other, but I think overall there's no more pressure than what I'd normally put on myself to perform.
Lovely, thank you.